match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
I can't see my fantasy, I'm so consumed in bed. What I see takes over me, I'm blind beyond repair.
We have one more show with that theme after this one.
I know, it's crazy. It's been a long ride. Like,
It's been almost
two full years.
Almost two full years. We're coming up on 100 episodes.
We are.
I just figured that one out the other day.
It's going to be an important day.
Something's going to happen. Someone's going to get hurt on the 100th episode. I assure you that.
I have a feeling that it's going to be me. Hey, does my camera look better now?
Meh. I look like I'm waiting to see Poseidon, and you're like the guy who's in charge of the meetings right now.
Okay. Yeah, it is better. It was streaming in 480.
Oh, okay.
And we're in 720 now. So we've upped it. We've gotten better.
Somewhat. Speaking of getting better, my name's Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter. To my right.
You better get getting better. Whatever. I'm Ethan. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3 on Twitter, and you can find us at On a Forklift Pod on Twitter, On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, and On a Forklift Wrestling Pod on Twitch, which you're probably watching us at one of those locations. And Clinton's going to tell you all about how we are live Thursday nights at 9 on UPN. What are we
right after the Steve Harvey show?
There you go.
It's never the Steve Harvey show because that show doesn't exist. Anyways, yeah. It's an exhausting weekend coming up. Extremely tiring, it looks like. We got fucking 3 big shows from the 2 major brands coming up this weekend. We're going to crown a new world heavyweight champion, which is continuing the lineage that ended when Randy Orton merged the belts back in 2013. So
I'm glad that little bit is in there.
I like that. Keeps the lineage going, makes it a little bit more prestigious. But, you know, we got fucking Night of Champions this Saturday.
Our champion. Speaking of champions.
Speaking of our champion. Hi, champion. Welcome to the chat. We also have Roadblock from NXT this weekend. And then Sunday we have Double or Nothing, which is, in my opinion, the best built AEW pay-per-view since Double or Nothing.
We're going to just shut this window here because this dog is not being quiet.
And congratulations down here to Tango. Graduated from college this past weekend.
Alpha Tango Bravo to you, sir.
I'm not on that same level with these guys that you are. I just sit here and act funny. You're the guy who's behind the scenes. I show up and talk.
You are quite welcome. And you're right. This is one of the better built pay-per-views, which brings up a weird point here is that Roadblock is going head to head with Double or Nothing. And one of those instances where I'm like, all right, that's probably not a great decision for a show that usually would run on a Saturday.
In the afternoon. NXT shows have been running at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
And now they're going directly head to head. So.
Which, my opinion, dumb. Don't run a free show against a pay-per-view, especially, like, you know what you're doing. NXT is nowhere near as hot as AEW is. AEW is about to put on a banger of a pay-per-view where, in my opinion, the weakest built match on the card is the Fatal 4-Way.
And it's been done pretty good.
What's up, Reed?
What's happening, Reed? I actually thought it was pretty good. This week's iteration of the 4 Pillars matchup was yet again Jungle Boy's the weakest one of the group. However,
he's probably going to take the pin this Sunday. I think
so. However, Sammy and Darby really kind of stepped their game up this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and put them down there. We're not going to pop all your guys' predictions up on the screen, but if you want to play along at home, we always encourage it.
Correct. So I'm going to bring up the Double or Nothing card, and we're going to rip this Band-Aid right off the top. We're going to get right into Double or Nothing predictions because it would be better if I didn't type double and then Google just shows me the definition for fucking double. Of course I know what that means.
I thought due to your search history, it'd be like double D milfy titties.
No, it'd be double
Uh-huh.
penetration, but
Oh
hey.
God, come on, man, have some class.
I have class. It's decorum, sir.
At least it's not DVDA.
No. Gotta have a really self-respecting person.
How
Where's my
long is it?
CBS? Where's my
How long?
CBS write up?
Double or Nothing 2020.
Here we go. Oh, we need
Literally got it up quicker than you, and I did it in 2 seconds. Let's run down this card. On the card, we're going to kick it off here. Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho in an unsanctioned match where Sabu will be in Adam Cole's corner. I didn't have that on my bingo card in 2023 of Sabu coming back to help anyone in AEW, let alone fucking Adam Cole and Roderick Strong.
Especially after his health issues earlier this year, I did not have that.
Well, I mean, he can probably show up and throw a chair in someone's face. I don't think he's going to be pumping out the triple moonsault or anything.
We never know.
You never know. And Sabu did look pretty great when he came down to the ring. This isn't an official predictions. This is just more of us talking.
Well, I'm writing them down. These will be the extent of the official predictions.
There's nothing on the line. We're just doing this. For me personally, I think it's Adam Cole. It's Adam Cole's first match back, first pay-per-view match back since his injury. Jericho's doing very well at getting. If Sabu wasn't in Adam Cole's corner, I could see Jericho winning.
Okay. Well, our official predictions for this are baby.
All right. The next one.
Shout out to you for the Rosemary shirt tonight. Great choice.
Thank you. Love her. The next match is probably the throwaway match on this card, and that's Ethan Page and the Guns versus the Hardys. If the Hardys win, Matt will own Ethan Page's contract.
Sorry, I'm reading what Reed wrote. I'm having a stroke about.
That's fine. We can get to that after.
I don't really Ethan Page because he needs it, and the Hardys don't fucking matter to me. I don't care about this.
Well, it's the Hardys and Hook.
Okay, I like Hook. Hook turns on the Hardys and joins Ethan Page. I don't fucking care. Kid doesn't need anybody.
I think the Hardys are gonna win just because the Hardys. I don't know. I don't know really. I'm over the Hardys and shit. I've been over them for years. I take back what I said about the Fatal 4-Way being the worst built match on this card. Because I have no idea why this match is taking place.
Reed, we're going to get to that when we get to the main event. We'll talk about that.
Reed, you're not that important. You can wait.
No, he brings up a good point here. He has got a good point, but we'll talk about it in the main event. That's where it applies.
I'm about to start charging people for comments on the screen.
No, don't worry about it.
All right, the next one is the TBS Championship match, Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. Jade.
Yeah, it's Jade. There's nothing to do with her, so why have her lose?
Mm-hmm.
It's just building until Chris comes back at this point.
Chris Statlander, or like I said before, we'll get to this in a minute, but I believe that this, the Jade situation is a little fucked up at the moment because of an injury that happened this past weekend as well.
Oh, did I predict my thing, by the way? I think we're both on Jade on this, but earlier, Ethan Page. That's.
Oh, I said the Hardys.
Yeah, I put that down.
All right. Next match is the Blackjack Battle Royale. We don't have who's in this outside of Orange Cassidy.
Absolutely no idea. What's on the docket for this? What's the stipulation?
Oh, hold on a second. We have participants. Orange Cassidy, Ricky Starks, The Butcher, The Blade, Bandito, Commander, Lee Moriarty, Big Bill, Avri Davari, Tony Nese, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Kip Sabian, Ray Phoenix, Penta L0, Miro, Swerve Strickland, Brian Cage, Jay White, Juice Robinson, Keith Lee, and Dustin Rhodes.
If it's not Orange, it's Jay White.
I see this as the easiest way to get it off of him. I just have no idea who could.
Oh no,
Jay
it
White.
wouldn't be. It's not going to be Jay White because they're going to want somebody that can go defend it in New Japan. So is Juice still allowed in New Japan, or is he out too?
Juice is still allowed.
Okay,
but I can also see someone like Commander winning this, or Ricky Starks for that. Even
I'm going to stick with Orange Cassidy, but I think if somebody wins it, it's going to be one of the guys from Bullet Club Gold. Yeah,
I'd say Orange Cassidy too, but this is the easiest way for them to get the belt off of Orange. Next match, Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. Jamie.
I'm sipping the Haterade.
Yeah. Jamie, I'm over the hopefully this puts an end. It probably won't, but hopefully this puts an end to the Outcast shit. It probably won't until we get that 6-woman tag.
It's funny about that. We're talking about that hanging on too long. One of the things I always thought AEW did was kill stuff off too soon. Now they're hanging on to shit too long.
All right. The next one is Wardlow versus Christian Cage in a ladder match for the TNT Championship.
Dog, he's got Arn Anderson with a Glock in his corner.
I know. If they take the belt off Wardlow, they may as well never push him again.
They might as well just get rid of the fucking TNT belt at that point.
Yeah, I concur. The next one is going to be FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, Team TNA, for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Mark Briscoe will serve as the special guest referee. It's going to be FTR.
I mean, it has to be.
I don't think they're going to put the belts on Team TNA as much as I want to see Jeff Jarrett with a title in AEW.
You're a fucking disturbed individual. Let me just clarify. The fact that you want that to happen is fucking disturbing. If it was going to be one, he should have beat Orange Cassidy for that international belt. I do think Mark lays them all out, but I think FTR gets the pin. I'm with you on that one, Reed.
Next match, Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite Anarchy in the Arena.
Sweet Jesus. We're getting a Battle Royal, Anarchy in the Arena, and a Fatal 4-Way for the belt, for the main belt.
There's a lot of stipulations on this card. Unsanctioned, there's a 6-man, Anarchy in the Arena, Battle Royal, ladder match, Fatal 4-Way.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna stop this right here. We're not gonna. This is the one thing we're not doing on the show. Mark has already come out and blatantly said he will never be in a 2-person tag again. So we're not even gonna fantasy book that one. We're gonna respect that because his brother and all.
I'm gonna go with the Elite because I feel like they need the win. They've been getting their ass kicked up and down. Plus the Don Callis. No. It's gonna be BCC because this is what's got to lead to the blood and guts.
Yeah, because you're just taking my thing right out of the group chat.
You make a good point though, but because of that thought process, this has to be them if you're gonna book that the right way.
That's why I'm gonna say BCC straight up wins because they're gonna do blood and guts at the first Collision show.
Well, there you go. See, I didn't say that.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the first Collision show. Yes, he has in multiple podcasts since his brother's passing.
Yeah, there was it might have been a Fightful exclusive thing, but he did say he'll never do it again. He'll wrestle in six-man, goofball stuff like that.
He will never do another just sole tag team match again.
Yeah. This leaves us to the big one, the final, the 4 pillars match.
Which, in my opinion, they're making a mistake by not having it be an elimination.
Dog, I'm sold on reverse eliminations after that match.
I am too, but
not that it makes sense in this case, but
no, AEW World Championship. There's the 4 pillars. I think this should be an elimination match. However, I understand them just doing a fatal 4-way here, but MJF wins and he's going to pin Jungle Boy.
So, look, I think MJF wins regardless. It's there. I'd be okay if Sammy or Darby won, truthfully. Jack's not ready to carry the belt. The other 2 could. Sammy's gotten a lot better. This entire feud has made Sammy a lot better. Reed did say something earlier, and I wanted to bring that
He's
back
been saying
up.
a lot.
I know. We have crowd interaction. He did say this, though. Hold on, where are we at? Okay, he brings this up. Sting did say this. So if this is the point where you want to break those 2 up or do something with that, I mean, now is the time. It's a fatal 4-way. It would make sense. It'd bring it into it. It'd move Darby out of this kind of a program made for him. So plus we get another kick-ass cinematic battle between him and Sting would be actually really fucking dope.
You see, I don't think they're going to do cinematics anymore because
I think for those 2 they would.
Outside of whatchamacallit, the it was the Sting Darby versus, I think it was Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. That's the only cinematic match I feel that they've done well. I don't count Stadium Stampede as a cinematic match. Because that was just a full ass match in a football field. But like, I don't know. Sting's far off my radar right now.
So we agree with everything except Matt Hardy and Ethan Page. That is that Matt Hardy and Ethan Page. That's the only thing we don't agree with on this card.
Okay.
Between the two.
Sting's far out of my mind. I love Sting. I don't care. AEW's been doing a very, very good job.
He's climbing Mount Everest. That's what he said.
AEW's been doing a very, very good job of not focusing on legends at the moment because they need to focus on their main talent, which is why this pay-per-view card looks so good compared to the last year of AEW cards.
But you do have Jeff Jarrett on the
Jeff
card.
Jarrett's an active. He's wrestling every week. He's on TV every week. Jeff Jarrett is still an active competitor. Sting shows up once every 3 months.
But he's Sting.
He's Sting, and
Sorry.
that's cool and all.
It's Sting!
And that's cool, but it's the same, like, I'm just, meh. I don't care. I'm enjoying Darby doing his own thing. We don't even need to bring Sting back. We don't need to have them split up or anything. Not every tag team in the world needs to have this traumatic breakup. Not every tag team needs to be the Rockers.
This is a fun little tidbit of information about this. This is the first time since 1989 that two major promotions will produce major head-to-head events head-to-head. It was Mania 5 and WCW's Clash of the Champions 6. That was the last time they ran at the exact same time slot.
Okay.
That's a nice little tidbit of information for our history buffs out there.
Okay. All right, so we can talk about Dynamite real quick because that was actually a pretty damn good Dynamite with a hot fucking opener.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a lot. I watched the whole fucking thing, and I don't ever sit down and watch a whole Dynamite live anymore.
It is difficult. It's a difficult thing to watch because it's in the middle of the week. There's so much other wrestling going on. Wrestling's so easily consumable in tidbits off of Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and shit. So I get it.
So Orange Cassidy defeated Kyle Fletcher in the opener. And that was a banger. I remember Russ was sitting on this show a couple weeks ago going, who is Kyle Fletcher and what has he done to deserve an AEW international title shot? And he went out there and he put on a fucking banger to open up the show. One of the best Dynamite opening matches I can recall in a while.
Well, Aussie Open is a very good tag team. It's unfortunate that Mark Davis is injured as well because there was a really good fucking match that was set up for Forbidden Door, and now we're not getting that match. I mean, we're still gonna probably get we're still going to get a good match, but not the one that would have been really good.
No, because, like, first of all, shout out to Aussie Open announcing that they are all elite last night after Kyle Fletcher's showing in the international title match. And also a bigger shout out to Tony Khan, who before they were even signed, paid for Mark's surgery and his recovery. So that's pretty neat. As much shit as we talk about Tony Khan, he's still a really good guy deep down inside.
He's a mark at this. He's just not well versed in this business enough to be like, keep him off TV and blink once in a while, man. Fucking blink. Just fucking blink, please. That's terrifying to watch. You make an announcement, fucking eyes, man.
Orange Cassidy defended the title. He won. Kyle Fletcher came extremely close. I really can't. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of it, but I can't explain how much or express how much I've enjoyed Orange Cassidy's international title reign. And it'll go down as like one of my top 5 title reigns in AEW history.
So I think with things like this, so the Kyle Fletcher match, if he continues to do matches like that, and that's why I think he's going to win this blackjack thing because it's big. It's a momentum builder as well. and it's like a stamp in this reign. That's what makes reigns like this great, because he's having good matches against everybody.
Yes. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we had, after that, we had the Jungle Boy promo. It wasn't good.
He can't talk. He's admitted it. He's admitted that he can't talk, so get him a mouthpiece.
FTR addressed their double or nothing title defense against Team TNA, where it essentially was them all talking before Mark Briscoe came out and slapped the shit out of everyone except Jay Lethal and said, I'm done with this bullshit.
Well, he didn't slap Satnam Singh either, which is probably a solid idea, because big guy don't slap big guy. Makes sense. I liked it.
Yes. I'm excited for that title match this weekend. I think that should be a lot of fun. Jeff Jarrett's been turning out bangers since he showed up in TNA, and I can't deny it.
Was this before or after the Ricky Starks thing?
Somewhere in there.
Well, Ricky Starks got attacked backstage by Juice and Jay, so that's what happened with that. House of Black defeated a really strange Ring of Honor team, Ring of Honor / old school GCW team in Grand Metalik, Blake Christian and AR Fox. Pretty good match. And I still love, even though we're a couple of weeks into it, I still love the lighting.
The lighting's amazing. I did like their ruling where it was one man, one in, one out. You didn't need to make a tag. I thought that added a lot more. It made it more of a chaotic sprint of a 6-man tag than what we're getting used to, which is a slow and plodding one.
Right.
Next, we move on to the 4 Pillars face off one more time. And what is there to say?
Step on the fucking scarf. Don't step on the scarf. If you're going to step on the scarf, do something really fucking egregious with it. Don't just like scuffle your foot on it. Darby, though, I like the notion about his stilts, his club kid shoes. Thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm. And then Darby got kicked in the penis.
Nobody protects it. Everybody, you're going to talk against MJF. Why do you let him kick you in the dick? It happens every time.
And then out came Sammy Guevara, which then Jungle Boy attacked MJF from behind when he was going up the ramp.
Yep.
Which led to Jungle Boy holding the title up. He was shown with the belt, which means that he's getting pinned.
Most likely, yes.
Now, this one I'm pretty excited to talk about because she had an amazing showing that has been making the rounds on Ring of Honor this past week. Lady Frost and Taya Valkyrie. Lady Frost for years has been an assassin on the indie scene. She is one of the best gymnastic wrestlers on the planet. And I don't think there's another wrestler walking the face of the earth with a better back full moonsault.
No, and she's got a great look. So it's weird because you and I both know women's wrestling is a very niche market, and it shouldn't be, but it is. And really, really good women's wrestlers are few and far between. Like right now, you've got Billy Starks. We saw one of them, Ari Alexander. I saw her at Grizzly Pro a couple of weeks ago before that fiasco. And then you had somebody like Lady Frost that's still out there doing Ring of Honor, doing the independents. That's a great exposure spot for her. Her and Taya had a really good match, and I hope we see more of her.
I do too, because Lady Frost, if you are not aware, she was allegedly let go from WWE because she was too old. And her going out here and fucking showing up half of the WWE roster.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear it.
She is a sweetheart. I think I met her actually at a Ring of Honor show, like pre-pandemic. So this was years ago. And she was very, very nice. I met her and Shotzi. I got the Shotzi pin on my jacket ever since because Shotzi was a sweetheart too. But Lady Frost is phenomenal. I think she came out looking better in this match than Taya Valkyrie did.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hope that they do something with Lady Frost because she is a spectacular talent.
Yeah, so we could talk about Taya for just a second. You're wearing a shirt. We went to a Border City, a BCW / Impact event at the Diamondback, RIP.
It's back up and running.
What?
Diamondback's back, man. You didn't know that?
No, it's not. They just painted the outside of it, broski. It's not. There's nothing there right now. It's sold.
Yeah, they said they're reopening it.
Not as that, as an event center.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's not as the Diamondback. The yellow's gone off the building, the mural's gone. It's sadness. Anyway, so we saw them there. Rosemary and Taya teamed together, and Taya looked way better in that match than she did last night. But Lady Frost did a fantastic fucking job, and I hope we see more of her.
At that same show, Rosemary booted me on the nose.
She did, because you're the only person in the crowd wearing a Rosemary shirt.
Yes, because I love Rosemary.
She was really cool.
Mm-hmm. The next one was Tony Khan's Collision announcement. I will try my best to recreate it. I'm not Russ, so.
You're right. That is correct. Mercedes on the Shelf. It did change the book, and Lady Frost probably does have a really good spot in Ring of Honor right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, last week we came up here and we brought you the announcement of Collision, which we said what was going to happen at the second through sixth show, but we didn't tell you where the first show was going to be. Now, where the first show is going to be.
Tell me where the first show is going to be.
I'm extremely excited to tell you where the first show for AEW Collision being brought to you on June 17th, 8 p.m. Saturday night. AEW Collision, which will be on TNT 8 p.m. Saturday night on June 17th. We will be going live from Chicago. Like, we all fucking knew it. Why did we need 3 fucking weeks of announcements to say AEW is announcing Collision? We will be bringing it to you. Our first show will be from Chicago. CM Punk may or may not be there.
It's just
right when he said Chicago, the whole fucking audience.
CM Punk. Like, why on earth? First off, who the fuck gives a shit about Tony making these announcements? You know who I want making?
Oh, fuck. I just put it in my head. God damn it.
What?
I know what's going to happen.
Okay, hold on a second.
Go ahead.
You can tell. Why is Tony the one making these announcements? Tony should not be making these announcements. Though there are 2 people in that company that should be making these fucking announcements. One of them is named Tony, but it's Tony Schiavone or it's fucking Excalibur. Because they're engaging and people like them. Fuck it, have Renee do it. Tony Khan shouldn't be on television. And because he's been off of television more, it's been better. But stop putting him on there to go, he's got a special announcement. We already know what it is.
So, the thing I just put in my head is Chicago will be Collision. We just talked about how they're going to do a fucking Blood and Guts there, because that's both of our predictions. And we both said that the BCC is going to win at Anarchy in the Arena, which means that Blood and Guts will be the elite. CM Punk's going to show up at the end of Collision and GTS the fuck out of Kenny or Hangman.
My assumption is Kenny, because it sets up for them 2 to be on separate shows and them not see each other until All In.
Yep. But
because theoretically, you could have. Sorry.
No, if that happens, I'm sorry.
But if that does happen, theoretically, you don't have to have them touch each other. And what's Punk got to wrestle twice until August, if that?
Mm-hmm. Because he's gonna wrestle at the All Out show in London.
Yeah, All In, yeah.
Or whatever it's called. Yeah, All In.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna wrestle at that show. There's no fucking chance in hell that CM Punk doesn't wrestle in London.
So maybe that's him. Maybe that's Hangman. Maybe that's him versus Hangman. Maybe that's him versus.
I don't think that him and Hangman are ever gonna have another match together.
Depends on how much money's on the table. That'd be terrifying.
There would need to be the most convoluted story in the history of professional wrestling at this point to make Punk joining the Elite make sense.
I have watched every single episode of WCW Nitro and Thunder that was produced by Vince Russo at least twice. And I can't see a point where in Vince Russo's mind that he would do that. That's fucking amazing. Reed, send me the name of your dealer, because
I understand that sometimes wrestling's good when it's convoluted, But in this instance, AEW is a better company when everything makes sense.
Yeah,
because
they've tried this shit out.
They figured it out. Like, I got scared earlier this week when they announced that the Ring of Honor tag title match was going to be on Dynamite. I was like, fuck. Why are we going to do another Ring of Honor title match on fucking AEW TV? And then it made sense. And I was like, oh, that was spectacular. We can talk about that main event, but before the main event, there was one more segment. That was Adam Cole and Chris Jericho's contract signing. Which, if you want to talk convoluted in wrestling, here you go. Because I need someone to make Sabu showing up to help Adam Cole make any sense whatsoever. Can anyone do that for me?
Can I? No. Will I? No. Who gives a shit? Sabu looked fucking great. Love it. Love it.
Reed, I don't believe you can. Like,
he might make Reed's gonna make sense.
I've got like 1,000 milligrams worth of edibles near me and a bunch of fucking pre-rolls. I think I'd have to smoke all this
wrestling anymore.
I'd have to die.
There is not often, like, there is, Reed, you're right, there is history between Jericho and Sabu. There is. You're correct, because that's back in the ECW shit. However, I don't give a shit. I'm here for it. It takes me a lot to get surprised in wrestling anymore. This was a legitimate surprise, and I'm fine with it because he's not somebody that's been shoved down our throat for years and years and years. Here's this fucking legend, because you never see him other than like cons and like the occasional fucking indie show. But TV wise, never.
No, you don't see him on TV, which I love Sabu. I have, as you all know, I have an undying love for deathmatch wrestling, and he's a pioneer of it. But that made absolutely no sense. I'm excited it's happening. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, what the fuck? And I won't lie. When Adam Cole initially screamed, suicide, I was like, he's suicidal. I was like, is he talking about me? Am I his partner? I didn't get a call from Tony. But then we moved on to the main event, which was the Ring of Honor tag title match, which I thought was spectacular. Good involvement from the Elite and the BCC to build up for, in my opinion, what should be the main event of Double or Nothing. That should headline the show, is Anarchy in the Arena.
You know it's not going to.
It's not going to, but it should. I always believe like the title match should go on last, unless there is a match that has a possibility of destroying the whole building. And I don't see the BCC versus the Elite being a comedy expo like last year's was, where there was like that big emphasis on comedy on top of all the matches that was going on. I think this is going to be a more serious take on the Anarchy in the Arena.
So there's one other thing that did happen. You're right. That was a fantastic match. I do want to give a shout out. Willow Nightingale. They showed off her New Japan Strong Women's title win.
Yes.
That did showcase a little bit of Mercedes Moné for the first time on AEW television as well.
Which we'll get to after this. Go ahead.
So just want a little bit of a buffer there for you. A little bit of
Yes.
tease.
We don't really need to talk more. It's building up. AEW did a great job of building up Double or Nothing. I'll be at Ethan's house this Sunday. I'm pretty stoked for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then to touch on the Willow stuff, because I wanted to talk about this, we're not getting Jade and Mercedes because she broke her foot. Because Mercedes was scheduled to win the match. She put Willow over because she realized that she hurt herself and that she wasn't going to be able to defend the title. Cool. Awesome on Mercedes.
Yes. Big deal there, because that was always a criticism of hers.
Was not putting over talent. She put over Willow in the best way possible, even though it came at the unfortunate circumstance of her breaking her foot. But I believe she was set to win that title, so that way they could do Jade versus Mercedes at Forbidden Door. And that's an unfortunate thing that happened, because I don't think we're going to do Willow versus Jade at Forbidden Door, considering 3 of Jade's wins have come at the expense of Willow at this point. I don't know.
I don't know, sir.
But it seems like Forbidden Door took a massive hit this past weekend with Mercedes getting injured.
And Mark Davis.
All right. So yesterday, was the Sony press conference where they announced all the shit that they're going to have coming out for the remainder of the year, announced shit coming out next year, and it got me excited. But yesterday also, Evil Uno and Orange Cassidy sat and they showed off a lot of gameplay footage of AEW Fight Forever, which has an official release date of June 29th. Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
You're gonna get a little bit of video game content sandwiched between wrestling content, because we are gonna talk a little bit of local wrestling to end the show. So let's get back into the
But Fight Forever, the best thing they've done was have those two people have those two fucking play that game and show it off, because I'm excited. It looks great. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't look great, like graphically. It looks like a PS2 game. But gameplay-wise, it looked solid and fluid as fuck. Excuse me 1 second. Go ahead and talk.
It looks like an arcade game
right now.
It looks like an arcade game, and that's the important thing. We have to remember that they've never come out and said, hey, this is going to be a realistic thing, but they did say it's going to be a game. And finally, you know what? Maybe it's that. We were really hard on this too. If you go back and you listen to past episodes,
we've been shitting on this.
Shitting on Fight Forever for a long time. But if you're going to bring me something and I'm going to get that No Mercy, like WCW, NWO feel to it, fuck it, give it to me. But do it better than Battlegrounds was by far. And
this is what I want. I want this.
And it looks like that might be what we kind of get. Like, the guys, do they move around great? No, they don't. The nice thing is there is a studio behind this game that has a hell of a lot of experience in Ukes. Now, Ukes brought us such legendary titles as SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. So let's not forget that there is a general manager mode in this game, and the fucking pedigree is there for it to be awesome. So
I'm super pumped for it now. I already went and put the $5 down on it. So that way I make sure I have it at launch.
I'm just going to buy it digitally because I don't believe that GameStop will ever. I feel like next time I pre-order a game, GameStop's going to fold.
Who said I pre-ordered it at GameStop?
Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
Same concept. I don't trust them anymore. I know they'll be around.
I've had problems with GameStop, like the Resident Evil 4 Collector's Edition. I'm still pretty fucking salty about that one.
I know, that's your Vietnam.
That's my. Fuck you.
It's true.
But I will touch on this. If you didn't hear the announcement, Alan Wake 2 is going to be a $60 AAA title game that is digital only. There will be no physical release of Alan Wake 2. And that pisses me off. Because I know everyone's going to respond with, they're not a big publisher. It's a cult following game. Blah, blah, blah. But never forget that Alan Wake 1 sold tremendously well for the Xbox. I think it only came out for the 360, right?
Alan Wake 1, yes. It was only 360.
Especially for an Xbox exclusive, sold exceptionally well. And they're saying they're like, we don't know if we're going to have this player base. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen is that this game is going to sell exceptionally well again because it looks like a great horror game. And it's going to sell digitally, which is going to lead to these bigger publishers going, no more physical. We're just going to release our shit digital. And that's going to kill physical media. So buy physical media while you can.
And yeah, it is.
Yes, it's Epic. Epic is publishing it. They've already said that on PC it's going to be $10 cheaper, and it'll be available on the Epic
store.
Epic store only.
I brought this up to you, and I just believe that this is why. And I'm not trying to defend your people I'm not trying to disappoint people that collect physical media. But when most of your customer base your PlayStation and your Xbox customer base have systems without disk drives, why make it with a disk and save on the manufacturing costs? They can just buy it from the online site. You have to download the games anyway, so it's already there. I know, and I get your concept, and I understand collector's edition, stuff like that. Like, look at Armored Core, things like that. There's going to be a thing for that always. But I think that the places that don't plan on some kind of collector's edition, this is the route they're going to go because it's easier for them to do it. It's cheaper to manufacture the game. Or it's cheaper to make the game because they don't have to manufacture discs.
But here's the rebuttal I'll make with you. Why is it $60 fucking? If you're going to release it for 50 digital only on the Epic Marketplace, you may as well release it for 50 digital on all marketplaces if you're not going to have a physical launch of it.
Because all the other games are 70 now.
Not all of them.
Well, they're trending that way, though.
They are trending that way.
I mean, look at Mirage. Mirage is only going to be 50.
And they're absolutely going to do that, which is like, fuck, I want to...
Limited real cool shit, though.
Like, I have, like, hold on here. Like, let me see if it's still in here. Like, dog, I still have the book from the collector's edition of Alan Wake 1. I love that game. Give me a physical release at launch so I don't have to buy it digitally. Give me the collector's edition at launch so I don't buy it digitally for $60 and then do exactly this of buy the collector's edition from Limited Run for $150 to $200. It's dumb.
Hold on. Did that happen?
What?
Yo, dog. Zoe just won the 50-50 at the Tigers game for like $3,000.
Oh, shit.
Him and Marquise did. Hey,
shout out to Forever Young and Father.
Yeah, if you're friends with
we will be seeing them next Saturday at Metro Pro Wrestling, which we will be broadcasting to you.
Yes, we're back. We're bringing you Metro Pro Wrestling from Kudos. It's a really cool venue too. So when inevitably somebody falls on their ass as a camera guy, it's me, and I think it's on turf, so that'll be nice.
It's going to be a lot of fun there. The big main event is Tommy Vendetta versus Jason Hotch in a Taylor Street fight. So the voice of Michigan Deathmatch Wrestling will return for that match. I will be broadcasting the whole show to you. We will have our tech guy Trevor there. We will have my commentating partner AY will be joining me. And if you go to these shows and you want to meet up with us or shit like that, I'm going to start bringing little presents. Because, like, I don't know if you guys see it back there. Right back there on my shelf, I've got the Young Bucks, I've got Kenny Omega, and I've got Cody Rhodes. And I'm going to bring those pop figures with me to our next show. And if you show up and you show that you're subscribed to us on all of our channels, I'll give you one of those for free.
So there is something that so we're going to touch on a little bit of wrestling. Did I already put that? Is that already in there? It's already in there.
Oh, we can go back to gaming because I'm far and away done from the gaming aspect today.
Oh, that's fine. I just wanted to touch on something wrestling in the middle of this.
Go ahead.
So the boss man, Jeremiah Goldman, the 24-Karat Lion, recently, if anybody remembers, the most recent For Us Wrestling show was a benefit show to benefit Sin. There was a tragic accident. Yes, there was a tragic accident within his family. If you're friends with Jeremiah, though, you can go onto his page. His most recent video shows where the funds and everything went to for that. He actually went out to Virginia to see him and his son who had the tragic accident. So go check it out, please. It was a good cause, and there's a really uplifting video that goes with it, too. It's not like Sarah McLachlan Angels. This is a man who lost a lot of function in his body getting to walk again, so it's pretty fucking awesome. So shout out to them, and we'll talk more about the For Us Wrestling stuff in a little bit. But back to gaming.
Yes. So they announced a shitload of shit last night. The major thing for me is Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is coming.
Metal Gear Solid Delta. There's that Lambda.
It's Delta right now because they're still working on it. They've announced that they are keeping the original story. They're not making any changes to it, and the original voice acting. And that original voice actors will return to make fix up the fucking voice acting. So it looks like a Kojima production that isn't going to take 7 fucking years to come out, which is super exciting to me. Not to mention, yes, there we go. Not to mention, they announced that Metal Gear Solids 1, 2, and 3 will be coming out as the Metal Gear Collection Volume 1. That's the big number there. This autumn, which I love Metal Gear. I want 4 released because 4 was released on only one console, and it was PlayStation's least selling console, so that game is pretty much locked to a dead medium. Can't play Metal Gear Solid 4 on anything other than a PS3.
In other small video gaming news, Ethan almost has a meltdown because a game that was originally promised to us in May this year, which clearly wasn't going to hit in May this year, is now pushed back to October because I am a sycophant for Assassin's Creed games. I have a fucking problem, but my God, did I feel like I was getting a combo of the first and the second game smushed together. I am loving that we are going back to the Middle Eastern setting. It just feels right. It feels like a homecoming for the game. And I hope that this game plays a lot like Assassin's Creed 2 did.
Now, as the Assassin's Creed sycophant that you are, I'm shocked that you thought the game was going to come out in May when they are notorious for releasing late quarter 3 or early quarter 4 of every year between October and November.
Yeah, well, look, I had my hopes up. This is why I hustled to get through Valhalla.
Mm-hmm. That's like when they announced Elden Ring initially, and they were like, it's coming out in August. I was like, I'll see you in January, buddy, because that's when all the From Software games drop. Like, Armored Core scheduled to come out in November? That shit'll come out in March. If it comes out in November, I'll be pleasantly surprised. What are you doing right now?
What day did Fallout 4 drop?
Fallout 4. That was in like
November. Okay.
Yeah. They're notorious for November too.
So I know that there's a release date for whatever the fuck the new one is. It's
for Fallout New Vegas 2.
No. What you call it? Fucking Starfield. It's gonna end up getting pushed back again from September.
I've lost all interest in Starfield.
That's what happens when you continue to push a game back. It just does that.
And that's what happened with the AEW video game. They announced it. They announced that game so long ago. Cody Rhodes was still with the company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A heavily featured part of that company.
Allegedly, he was still in the game up to a certain point.
Yep.
So you said a name, though.
What name?
And I said a name.
I don't remember saying names.
Fallout.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Look at this suave gentleman.
Wow. Joining us from date night. How's it going, buddy?
Hello. 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 Hello.
You look so handsome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. How are you?
How are you?
We're doing good. We're talking video games right now.
Just noticing that my hair has got like an extra coiffed to it there. You see that? It's like extra strong.
Hey, can you tell us to go fuck ourselves, San Diego?
I'm Ron Burgundy. No. I'm not. That's not. I wanted to check in really quickly.
Yeah.
It's an important week in pro wrestling. And I have a bad feeling.
Why?
I have a very bad feeling.
He's gonna say that Orange Cassidy's gonna retain. That's what his bad feeling
is. No. I have a bad feeling that Seth Rollins isn't gonna win the title. I'm concerned.
Me too.
So then AJ Styles wins that. I don't see what the problem is here.
I think the problem is because the OC is going to help him win. And I don't like that. I don't find the OC compelling.
Well, it's because they signed.
There we go.
Wow. It's because they signed big money contracts, whether they show up or not. So it doesn't really matter to them.
Were you guys doing predictions? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail.
We already did them.
No. Oh. So you know who would have to step in and help Seth Rollins then?
Becky Lynch.
Nope. J&J Security.
Who? What?
That's
Jamie
way before
Noble?
His time, man.
Joey Mercury. So back when the Authority was a thing, Seth Rollins had a pair of henchmen, two actually very good wrestlers named Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury.
I remember Jamie Noble.
Yeah.
Didn't Jamie Noble date? Wasn't Jamie Noble with, I can't remember her name. Was it
Nadia?
Nadia, that was it. Yeah.
I had a big thing for her. I thought she was
Nadia or Nydia?
Nydia.
Let's go with
Nydia,
that.
That was it. Hey, actually, speaking of that, no, Russ, I probably not. I'll watch it later.
No, because I have to work
at
6 a.m, so I'll be going to bed. Look at how comfy that bed looks.
I don't have Fight Plus right now. Anyway, I'm gonna use the trailer hitch as my submission move, for what it's worth, because no one uses it. So
Did you guys say we were
Russ.
talking about video games when I jumped on
Yeah,
here?
we were.
Yeah.
But what were your predictions? You got anything weird
Well,
that you think's going to happen?
It doesn't matter. My predictions don't matter right now.
Well, we didn't really do a
Yeah,
set
it wasn't-
predictions for this, or we just were talking about like just the pay-per-view itself. The only match we disagreed on was the Hardys and Hook versus Ethan Page and the Guns.
Is that on like the kickoff show?
Nope, that's on the pay-per-view.
So it's going to go for about 7 minutes, and it's probably going to happen right after Anarchy in the Arena.
I'm gonna voice a concern really quickly. The 21-man battle royal feels like a good way to get the belt off of Cassidy because they don't want him to lose clean for whatever reason. But it upset me when I saw the graphic because I thought Keith Lee and Swerve have had a very long running thing, even though it hasn't gotten a lot of TV time lately. And you have Jay White and Ricky Starks ended in a DQ, and it felt like that was supposed to have like a blow-off match of the pay-per-view. And all 4 of those guys are in the Battle Royal. And I would much rather see either of those matches on this pay-per-view and give those guys 8 to 10 minutes and like have those be actual matches than see this Battle Royal. Or like, I would certainly remove the Hardys match. You know, like it just, you don't have a ton of story in this pay-per-view. And like those have 2 sort of, you know, different levels of story. And you're not building around it.
I'll tell you right now, the only reason that the Hardys is on pay-per-view is because of Jeff.
Yeah.
That is the only reason that match is on the pay-per-view. If it didn't involve Jeff at all, it'd be pre-show material for goddamn sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. I want to see something interesting happen with the 4 Pillars match. I would actually like to see a Jungle Boy heel turn, which I don't think will happen. But that would be interesting. It feels like they're really leaning into Sammy as like a quasi babyface. I'd actually be fine if they did it. They could run with Sammy as some sort of a tweener babyface and like maybe give it a shot, bring Ty back. But Jungle Boy turning heel and helping MJF would be interesting. Like that would maybe make him compelling because right now like he's so far off of the other 3.
What if he takes the deal that Sammy wouldn't take?
I hadn't thought of that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you know what? That would be something.
It'd be a shock.
I don't think they would ever do it, but man, that would be interesting. Here's the thing. I think if this had been AEW 18 months ago, then it would have been totally in play. But because of all of the bad sentiment that's been going around and all of the questions around Collision and Punk and this and that and like all of the backstage shit and Sammy and Andrade and like the works, like all of it. The last thing that you can do is pull off a finger poke of doom. You can't risk it. You know, like that actually could be debilitating to what you're trying to do. They're not there. They don't have the equity right now with the fans across the board to do it.
Well, maybe he doesn't. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I think MJF's going to steal the pin from Sammy on Jungle Boy.
That would make sense. The stolen pin would totally make sense.
What if Jungle Boy hoofs Sammy in the nuts and says pin him? Like one of those things to where like you knew it, but he didn't do that. It wasn't the finger poke, you know?
Yeah, that could be
a similar
interesting.
thing. I still think Clint's is the more plausible.
I don't think this is going to main event the pay-per-view. To be
I think
honest
it will
with
because
you.
it's the belt, and I think Tony cares about the belt. But that actually does. I wanted to ask you guys, where do you think the Cole and Jericho match being unsanctioned feels redundant to what Anarchy in the Arena is going to be? You know, like at a smaller scale, but like the same concept holds through. They can't be anywhere near each other on the card. So do you risk opening the show with Cole and Jericho?
Oh, I got you. They're going to open the show with Cole and Jericho 100%. Jericho's been doing very well opening pay-per-views lately. When you throw him in the middle of the card, it doesn't work as well. I think Jericho is your best match opening, like singles match opening guy that you have. You get exactly. You get the crowd cheering, like fucking singing Judas at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the world title match is going to have a satisfying enough conclusion. In Double or Nothing, like outside of last year, every Double or Nothing has been headlined by Stadium Stampede. Stadium Stampede last year was the world title, but that was because it was Punk and Hangman.
Yeah.
And this year it's Anarchy in the Arena. I totally believe that the Elite and the BCC are going to close out the show.
It'd be interesting.
So I think you open with your unsanctioned. And I think we went through the match card. There's only like 4. So like you have 5 matches on the card that have stipulations involved and the other 4 don't.
Yeah.
So I think you do stipulation, normal, stipulation, normal. So I think you just got to space it out.
Did I see correctly that there's no trios title match?
Nope, no trios title match unless they
Feels
set up
weird.
something on Rampage,
Yeah, it feels weird.
which I believe Rampage is live this week.
No, it's not. It's on Saturday and it's after the NBA playoffs. If there's a game.
Well, give me 1 second because I can tell.
So if the Celtics win tonight, it would go to game 6 back in Boston, and that would be on Saturday. So you could be looking at like a 11:30 or even a midnight start.
Okay, so here's the thing though.
This is wild. To me
I don't
that this
see
is the
any
5th Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any spoilers though for
It's definitely
Rampage.
not live.
Let me see here.
It can't be live. Because they have no idea when the game is going to end. If it's going to, like, if they're
I got
this game.
I got him. Oh, it taped on 5/24. Yep.
Don't you spoil
No,
Rampage.
it does not. I'm not spoiling anything on Rampage, but I am seeing that there is nothing.
Don't you spoil that.
Actually,
show I'm not
I
gonna
can make
watch.
it even worse for you. I know for a fact they filmed it because there were people tweeting about it yesterday that it was an hour. It was, what the hell is it? Hour of ROH Dynamite, hour of Rampage, 2 hours of ROH after that. It was like it was like a super
I actually
marathon.
see if they have a match. I see what match it's going to be.
Okay.
So they did lay the groundwork on Friday for a trios match on the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Do you want me to say who it is, Ethan?
No, I'm just
Yeah, say who it is.
hour, 2 hours, hour, 2 more.
Yeah.
6 fucking hours of wrestling on one goddamn day.
I saw a tweet from a guy saying that there was something really compelling in the second ROH taping that day, but they left halfway through because they're like, it's just too much, and the crowd was dead.
Mm-hmm. So Russ, if you want to know, it's the Guns and the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn.
T-Mobile.
They didn't do that already?
No,
That's fine. It could be interesting.
it'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
I just got to figure out like what type of stipulation they're at, because like I said, I enjoyed the stipulation this week they added, which was the one man, one out rule.
The lights, by the way, this week on the
Perfect.
crowd looked great. Last thing, the BCD scale. I will be making Buff Chick Dip for Double or Nothing. I'm pretty sure that the pay-per-view is going to live up to it.
I think so too. I think it's the best built AEW pay-per-view since Double or Nothing 2022.
Wow. It's ballsy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, since you guys were talking about video games, I'm going to show you this before I go.
I got to show you what I got yesterday too. You'll appreciate it.
So I did this in the basement.
Oh, that's hot.
So we've got, hold on.
Oh, touch those Segas for me. I'm a Sega guy.
So we got the PS5 here, which I need to make lay down. Got the Switch back here. Genesis, Saturn, Dreamcast, N64, GameCube. The PS3 is in a closet because it's not necessary right now. Oh, and there's the original Xbox is down there, and then the 360 below it.
Yeah.
And then get ready for this.
PS2.
This cabinet. It's got all the original Xbox games, and behind that is the 360 games. And then we
Bro,
come
hey,
we come over here.
underrated Topspin is a fucking blast to play.
Ooh, Russ.
I'm gonna give you another tennis game. Actually, no, I'm gonna give you another sports game. Dreamcast, Tee Off Golf.
Yes.
Nice.
Tee Off Golf was
by the way, Russ.
Great game. What?
So in my whole venture of like physical collecting nowadays, I found a guy on Etsy who actually makes top labels for all the N64 games, and it's like $20, but he sends you a sheet with every North American release
Cool.
on it. So like when you're storing them, because we store them like this, you can actually see what the fucking game is. Also, I got this yesterday.
I've got that in here.
Yeah, buddy. It's the best one.
Hold on.
All right. So we have
Hold
two
on.
questions while we're
Here-
talking about
here you go.
this.
Wait.
I do think they end up in a casino somehow. You're in Vegas, you have to be in a casino.
All right, here we go. Wrestling games. You ready?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Snap. Backstage assault.
Backstage assault.
Mhm. A blue cart. Those were fun.
Mayhem.
God, that game was awful. God, that game was awful. The best wrestling game ever made.
Ooh,
Close.
it's right up there with.
Second best wrestling
there
game
we
ever
go.
made. Oh, fuck. An
Hold on.
underrated classic.
It's
I'm
not
not
as
done.
Yeah.
I'm not done. Hold on. There's one more.
Oh, hold on.
Do you have Backyard Wrestling 2 or something, Clint?
Nope, I have
I
have
have
ECW Hardcore Revolution for the Game Boy Advance.
There it is. Hold on. Where's the because there are more in here, but those are the only N60. Those are all the N64 ones. Hold on. I don't want to. I have. Hold on. There's one other good one because I think we did this before. I feel like a year and a half ago we did this with the wrestling games, and I pulled them all out. But I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh, that's a collection.
Attitude, Royal Rumble, and
That's a copy of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for the Sega Dreamcast, folks.
God, I'm so turned on right now.
this is the game, man. Power Stone. Marvel vs. Capcom has gotten
the original.
increasingly, I guess, harder to find. More
Yep.
expensive game.
And
One of these days, we should do a stream where we pull all the video games out and we compare.
Russ,
Okay.
here's the thing. You have a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
We can do a 2K23 stream with all of us together.
Mhm.
Without you needing to be here.
Uh-huh.
There's some shit we need to talk about after. I know you're
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, it's date night and I've already spent too much time here.
Go
it's okay.
enjoy
know.
your date with your wife, man. Love you. Thank you for stopping by.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay. So let's just round this out. We've got a little bit of local wrestling to talk about now.
You go ahead and
After
do all
this.
that, bro.
So, first off, this weekend, I'd like to touch this. This is XICW's return to Lincoln Park, and it does feature a meet and greet with the one and only Olympic hero, Kurt freaking Angle. Now, on that event, there's a couple of cool matches. The one I really want to touch on, I'm not going to talk a lot about it. Dread King Logan and DBA are going at it again for the Downriver Championship. And the last time these two went at it was the last show at Hot Rocks, which is a former venue around here. They basically tore the fucking place down. So expect them to do it again and probably get kicked out of the Lincoln Park Community Arts Center. So they'll have to find yet another venue. The other thing I would like to bring up, I don't have a visual for this. However, a good friend of mine and a local rookie, King Thomas Bailey, is taking on Chuck Cole at NWCW for the heavyweight championship in that promotion. It's a huge thing. This kid is literally 8 months out of wrestling school, and he's the fucking bomb. He is the consummate
Over like
professional.
Rover.
He's a consummate professional. Everybody loves the kid. He does everything right, and he's fucking awesome. So keep your eyes on it. He's going to go places. I'm super stoked for him. Somebody's in here. Tango is going to be reffing, I believe, the DBA Logan match. So that's going to be good luck. That's all I can say to that one, Tango. You're going to need your back surgery after that. And the next thing I want to talk about is announced recently for us wrestling. Oops, All Bangers 2. This is a wild card. I'm not even going to run down all the stuff because not everything that's going to happen on that card has been announced yet. So go over to For Us Wrestling on Facebook, like them, subscribe, whatever you got to do. Follow the stuff because there's more match announcements happening. Okay, my bad about that. So Chuck Cole and Thomas Bailey, Tango is reffing that. So also, good luck. Have fun. That's going to be a great time. If you guys if you're a promoter in the area and you need a ref, get a hold of Tango. He's fucking great at it. So we're an hour and 5 minutes into it. That's a little bit farther than we wanted to go. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been a fantastic show. Remember, next week, that's the last show with the Maven theme. So get ready because there's going to be a reset. It's going to be a revolution.
We'll be here. We'll be back with you guys twice next week, next Thursday for our show and next Saturday for Metro Pro Wrestling. Please join us for that. The last show was very, very fun. Little secret. I can swear this time. So there's not going to be as much stuttering on my end.
Not as many F-bombs, but he can swear.
You guys might get one F-bomb an hour. That's
Yep.
I think that's what my contract states is 1 F-bomb an hour.
I don't know. Will he get mad if we announce this? That we're gonna be guests on Wrestling Rage on June 7th?
We'll let him take care of that because that's on our week off. And
we're guests on a show. We don't have to do shit. We show up, get fucking wild, boys.
We show up. We let him promote all that shit. No,
I mean, I'm gonna promote it because it's us. Like
I know, but I'm gonna enjoy that week off. I got that Thursday. I'll be going to my girls' dance competition, so I'm super excited to watch my girlfriend pop her pussy in front of an audience of people.
His girlfriend at one point told I'm not going to tell that story right now.
I'll tell that story.
No, we're not going to tell that story. So, very big thank you from myself. I can find the stuff up here. I will find it.
I can do it.
I'm Ethan. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3 on Twitter. To my left is this fucko.
Hi. I'm PK Batman. You can find me at Twitter at PK Batman. And then we are on a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on Twitter, on a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music, Twitch at On a Forklift Wrestling Pod, and of course, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. on UPN. And you can catch us at your local wrestling shows because we love wrestling. Good night, everyone. Reed said to end it.
We love you, Judy.